between the Yo Quiero Taco Bell.
Welcome to the Undrafted, Uncensored cast of Pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanger. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
Welcome everyone to Undrafted, Uncensored, where I owe my parents a public apology.
Uh-oh.
So remember I was telling you guys I had to take my parents to the airport today. They were heading out to, I think it's Maine and New Hampshire, somewhere northeast with lobsters and good food.
And Smack Pack!
So my mom and I were having a text exchange last night, and I'm just confirming. I asked, what time do you want me there? And my mom says 7:45. Because we have our security appointment at 8:15. Okay, so that's what I read. Well, I get up this morning, 7:25. Well, I'm backing out of my garage door closing, and I get that text message. Where are you at? We need you here ASAP, but it's got like laughy emojis. So now I'm like a little more curious than I was when I was leaving. And I just like on my watch, right on my way as I'm going through. And I'm like going through the conversation in my head last night. And I'm like, okay, if I get there at 7:45, it doesn't take us half an hour to get to the airport from their house. It takes like maybe 20 minutes, depending on how fast I drive.
That's nice.
And so I'm like, I'm doing all this math in my head because I'm like, I'm going to get them there by 8, maybe 8:05.
What's the big deal?
I keep thinking about it. And so I get to their house and I'm like, I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood your text. And my mom says, I misunderstood yours because when you said, what time do you want me there? I read it as, what time do you want to be there? So she
one letter difference.
Yeah, so she thought I was asking what time they wanted to be at the airport. I was asking what time they wanted me at their house. And they still got there on time. I hate dropping people off at DIA, but I mean, it's my parents, so I'll do it for them no matter what.
Yep.
And I hope they have fun. They're probably sleeping right now because it's 11 o'clock Eastern, and I hope they bring me back a lobster.
I love it. Little trick.
Bring you back a lobster?
Yeah, a live lobster.
Yeah. Just put it. All you have to do is freeze it.
Then it's not alive. But no, whenever you're doing that, a nice little trick, they don't charge you for parking if you're only in there for like a couple of minutes. So I go into the garage and then just drop them off like real close to the drop-off area and then leave because they don't charge you any money for that. And it's so much easier than dealing with the whole pull over park. You know, everyone thinks you're potentially a terrorist, or is it just because I look like me?
Well, I mean, yeah.
So I just have a feeling Nick doesn't have that issue.
No,
just hunch.
I usually just have that unapproachable face anyway. So, I mean, there's always that.
People just leave you alone.
Yeah, people just leave me alone for whatever reason. Apparently, I have like "fuck off" written across my forehead or something.
Well, there's that too.
You have DB written across your forehead right now.
Douchebag. Well played. Well
if
played.
The shoe fits.
The Arizona douchebags.
Oh, well played. Colin, you had something? Or was it a post-show thing?
No,
you were just kind of yawning and like, oh, I'll wait.
I was just, saying, I was just thinking that, I just hit another parlay today. So,
nice.
I had a very, very good day.
Oh, we'll let you brag a little bit because the show's not really set for a real high happy bar.
We'll get in the Broncos, but I was obviously at the Broncos game today, and I saw the amount of usage that Troy Franklin was getting and attention he was getting. So once I had the chance, after the first quarter, I live bet Troy Franklin to score a touchdown today, which Took a long time to hit. There, maybe it was halftime that I placed that bet. I don't know, but it was after a while in the game. Maybe yes, it was.
They didn't
halftime,
score until the fourth quarter.
and yeah, they didn't score until the fourth quarter. But I live bet that, so hit that for like 200, and then I hit a four leg parlay, four touchdown score parlay that Bijan Robinson clinched for me in the afternoon right away. That won me 400 more.
Oh,
So it was a very solid, productive day, and then just had a little three-legger that won me $50 tonight.
Nothing special.
So when you hit Queens,
not 20 and 500. Yeah, it's a very productive day, and I did live bet. I put $5 on the Broncos to come back and win that game, and I didn't even. I was so involved in the game. $5 would have turned into another 300.
Yeah.
At that point when I live bet it, but I was so involved in the game I didn't even look at the option to cash out because I totally would have cashed out.
I didn't.
There would have been something on there at some point.
Got your $5 back, yeah.
I would have gotten more than that because the Broncos were looking like they were. There was a feeling in that stadium that they were going to do it, but
there really was. Let's start there. I mean, both CU and the Broncos are going to have the same feeling anyway. Let's just start in Denver. It's right there. It's fresh still. We need to cry a little. Well, I don't really need to cry.
Fresh.
We need to punch somebody. And I like where you were sitting, Colin, because you have a much better perspective than I do in my seats because you're up higher and looking down at the plays. So you get to see a lot more of everything developing and as it's coming together. What the hell was going on in that first half? I mean, was that offensive line that porous?
Well, yeah. I mean, Bo Nix didn't have any time in the pocket, but also Bo Nix was not delivering. His throws were not on target. When you're going into the second half or at one point in the second half, you are 4 for 16, I think, for 11 yards.
It was, they couldn't even get 50 in the first half. I don't remember exactly what it was.
It's a combination of a lot of things. Yeah, there were some drops. The first pick, the interception that he threw was not good. It was a bad interception. Whatever.
Was that the tipped one?
Yeah, the tipped one. It was a bad pass. It was behind him. I mean, from what I saw, it was behind him, high and out in front of him. Excuse me. It wasn't an easy pass to get. So could he have caught it? I mean, yeah, it's possible, but it was tipped. It was intercepted. The offense just had no flow. There was nothing that felt like this was game planned. It was just kind of felt like it was thrown together. Like, let's see if this works. All right, we're just going to try and run it out. You can't beat a running team when you're not a better running team than the other running team.
Almost like you were thinking ahead in the week, like to Thursday.
Exactly. And that's the thing that really frustrated me. And, Kurt, who brought me, we were sitting there talking, and it's just the Broncos, Sean Payton refuses to try anything different. Yeah. And the one time that they do start doing something different, and I'm talking about using the hurry up, going with more pace, guess what? They start scoring touchdowns. And I know it was the fourth quarter and things were almost decided, but that game became basically almost undecided with the way the Broncos played in the fourth.
Well, and the Chargers, even everybody's calling it garbage time, and I mean, yeah, it probably kind of was, but even the Chargers had to step their defense up after the Broncos put that first tutty on the board because they knew what was coming.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, they kind of let up to let it happen in the first place, and it was one of those where they were like, they didn't. I wouldn't call it quite garbage time. They were still playing defense, but they definitely were not putting forth the same level of effort it felt like for the first 3 quarters, really.
It was a level
and
just
then,
low prevent defense.
Exactly. Yeah, like not quite prevent because that's how you lose usually.
Yeah.
It prevents the win, which is always the joke. But like they weren't doing, and even Sean Payton said that in the press conference. They were like, what did you guys change? And he said, well, we played with tempo and we did a lot of things. with the tempo of the game. But what he said right before that was, well, I mean, look, get a look at the time of the game. Like, obviously they were in a different game script at that time too, so they gave us more. So it was even acknowledged by Sean Payton that that's kind of how it was. But hey, that's a way to win games in a lot of different sports. You lull the team into a false sense of security. We saw the Nuggets do it to the Lakers in the playoffs last year. That's Muhammad Ali's style of fighting, the rope-a-dope. Fucking let it
sting like a bee.
Exactly. He didn't do it every fight, but like
No.
it's a legitimate strategy.
Yeah.
But obviously, you're not trying to go down that much. But it can work out for you. The other team has to all of a sudden kick their shit back into gear and stop you. And the two biggest plays for me was that stupid fucking play call on the 2-point conversion with the little like shovel pass to Marvin Mims. I would have enjoyed to see that play on any other down, but not fucking 2-point conversion, basically 4th and goal on the 2. That's terrible. And then that hold on Jaquan McMillan, that really said the Broncos were going to get the ball back with like 4-something minutes left, no timeouts, but that's time to make something happen. That's time to
be, because I would say the Quinn Miners hold was another big one too, when they had Court right over the middle. I think that was
long
the third quarter. Yeah,
that was huge. But they still had time to make up for that. I think the term I used on the post-game show was the 1,000th cut in the death by 1,000 cuts. I think was that hold. It just at that point it was insurmountable. You see him kicking a field goal on 1st down just to save time. Like, and that
was the smart play to do, though.
Exactly. Like, I don't disagree with it. It just feels terrible that you're in that situation. Like, you're pretty much guaranteed to make the field goal, so you're going to get the time back, and you're going to go for the onside kick anyway. But, like, fuck, man, I'd rather try to get into field goal range with a few seconds left and no timeouts than trying to score a big touchdown.
Yeah.
But it's just how it goes. There's no way around it. You were kind of already fucked.
Yeah, and that is the other thing is the penalties for the Broncos really hampered them all game. There were a bunch of stupid penalties that allowed drives for the Chargers to continue. It also hampered the Broncos on their drives. You know the pass to Cortland Sutton is a perfect example. The play all the way back on the other end that just you have a big play, you finally start to feel like there's momentum in that stadium, and it's like, oh crap, here we go. Now march it back one more time. This is going to happen over and over again. Now that at the point where me and Kurt looked at each other, the last drive of the second quarter or the third quarter, I was like, well, the Broncos don't do anything this next drive. We're taking off. Like, it's done. And it was basically, we knew it was done anyways. But the last drive that the Chargers had, there was a fumble that got negated,
Yeah.
The stupid penalties killed the Broncos from ever having a chance in this game. And it's just, it sucks. It sucks to have that happen, especially when those big on the big plays. It could have been game changing. And the Broncos had 2 chances at the onside kick at the end of the game still too, because of offsetting penalties. It was like, oh my God, are they actually going to get this ball back? I can't believe it. It felt like that was going to happen because the Chargers were going to charge her. And unfortunately, there was just the Broncos expected too much charging rather than doing it themselves. So I don't know. It was the atmosphere sucked for 3 quarters, and then it got fun.
Yeah, I mean, you left the door way too open for the Chargers, and they're a veteran team that's going to take advantage of those situations. And you like you said, you can't hinder your own drives with your own penalties. Make them make the mistakes so that they're giving you that free yardage. And I mean, I'm going to be honest, I fell asleep through half the second quarter. It was dull.
Hey, sitting in the stands, I felt like I was falling asleep at some points.
I literally sat on my couch watching the game, and it was like there's like 8 minutes left in the second quarter, and next thing you know, it's the halftime report, and I went, ooh. All right.
Okay, what's happening?
Yeah, time to go for a walk here.
Make myself up. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely made myself a cup of coffee around halftime over here at the station because I needed to be awake and alert, and I had to actually pay attention. I didn't want to, but and then I did, and then it was fucking sweet, and stuff starting to work out, and they're moving the ball, and yeah, the tempo and the Chargers defense kind of letting up the gas definitely had a lot to do with it, but still, it's still fun. It was. Yeah, it's kind of funny too how that's a term I hadn't even thought about this season really because they've been such a different type of team. It was Chargers going Charger, but just think back to the context of the old Chargers teams. Of course, yeah, they're going to go up 23-0 and then start giving up a touchdown and then a field goal and then
turning the faucet a little bit more every minute so the points start coming out of the faucet faster. I thought it was going to happen. I was hoping it was going to happen. And when they didn't get that onside, I was just mad.
Yeah, and the dude was so close. Like he was sliding almost in the path of the ball, and it went like underneath him or like through his legs or some shit. Like, dude, it was so close. He almost did the classic like hockey defenseman save where you just kind of slide across and stuff.
Yeah, sacrifice the whole body.
Yep.
I don't know how they do that.
There's ice. It's easy.
No, I mean how they I'm willingly going to get in front of this vulcanized rubber disc and let them shoot it at me at 98 miles an hour. And
they don't really have a lot of time to think about it. They kind of just gotta go.
No.
It's kind of like Secret Service.
I know it hurts. Like standing in the batter's box. I know that fastball coming into my ribs, no matter what I do, still going to hurt. I can't get out of the way.
Exactly. It's a different mindset.
You just take it. Sometimes you're going to get plunked. You get plunked.
Yep. You just turn that back and absorb as much as you can.
There you go.
Get in that fat muscle back there. Oh.
Hey guys, I got to be back in 1 second. Sorry. Continue on.
Fred the Frank?
He's a dog. He's a good dog.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll just keep it on the Broncos while we wait for Colin to get back.
No, let's change the subject and fuck with him.
So, have you seen Beetlejuice yet?
No, but I saw Joker and it was terrible.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, the other night.
Everybody
That's why I
saying it
texted
is.
you guys of what time we were going to record.
Right. Yeah.
Like last weekend or whatever, because I was going to go see Joker, and I couldn't remember if we were going to go see it, and I was like, I'm just going to be AWOL for a good 2 hours. So if they're texting me like, "Hey, where are you at?" I'm not going to notice.
Yeah.
So
I wanted one of those people that like turns your phone off in the theater.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what you're supposed to fucking do.
Yeah.
I just put it on silent. But no, it's a musical. It's just a musical.
It is a musical.
But it's not like a good musical. It's not like Sweeney Todd where the music is different, or like what's the one where John Travolta dressed up as a fat lady for the movie? Stuff like those are fun musicals.
Yeah.
I don't like ABBA, but Mamma Mia is a good musical.
You should see it on Broadway. It's even better.
I'm sure I wouldn't.
It was part of one of my baseball packages one time. So
there you go. I wouldn't saw Wicked.
Here's a ticket to go see a Broadway play. And I'm like, sweet.
I'm in. Yeah. I was mad because I went and saw Wicked and it wasn't the main chick. It was the understudy, but she was fucking amazing. It didn't matter. But no, it's a movie that feels like they didn't have a movie written, and then they got $100 million to make a movie, and so they never leave the courtroom. It's literally just the court case of the Joker. So like obviously there's different scenes, but like they don't get past that. So I was watching it with my friend Nicole the whole time. We were kind of asking ourselves like chicken or the egg. Like, was this a musical before they got Lady Gaga, or was it just a very empty film and they made it a musical because they had Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
Because she's an established actress, but she usually doesn't do stuff that doesn't involve singing. Like she did the Star is Born movie.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And she's good, but you don't care. They try to make the Joker out to be a split personality of the guy. And I hate that. It's just, it doesn't feel the same. It's just show tunes. It's not even different kind of music. It's just bland ass show tunes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had it in my head, but I just, I was doing this quote from as the voice of the Penguin for some reason, but like, do you like Joker movie? And it's like, well, I hope you guys like show tunes.
Yeah.
because that's it. That's the whole movie. It's just a bunch of show tunes.
That reminds me, I gotta jump on that tonight.
I recognize like one song, and I'm trying to remember what it was, and I don't remember. It's just one of those, kind of jazzy lounge music, fucking show tunes. It's all it is,
That's disappointing.
Yeah, it makes me sad. It's disappointing, like the Broncos playing the fucking Chargers.
Dude, I was well, and like, I hate these 205 starts because by the time I leave the radio station today, I had to go drop my parents' car off.
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna make them crawl into my Jeep. They're in their 60s. Making them get up into my Jeep is not appropriate. So I'm like, let me drive your car. I'll take you guys to the airport. So then I got to drive from the radio station to my parents' house, switch cars, and then drive home. Pick up Jimmy John's on the way because I don't know why I was really craving one of their tuna sandwiches today.
That's the best sandwich they make.
Oh, dude, I love their tuna.
Yep, get it with peppers and bacon.
See, I get it with mustard.
That's good too, but also add peppers and bacon.
No, I'm gonna try that next time. Actually,
so good.
So yeah, by the time I get home, it's already half. Well, no, it wasn't even halfway. The first quarter still had a minute left, which tells you how long that first quarter was.
Yeah, dude, it was excruciating.
Because I drove from Greenwood Village to South Commerce City to North Commerce City in basically the first quarter. By the time I pull into my garage, I still got to watch like the last 40 seconds of the first quarter.
That's okay. You didn't miss much.
What? I know. Well, I was listening to it the whole time, listening to Dave Logan. So I was just like, wow, what is going on here? I'm sitting in my driveway. He's like, yeah, we got a minute 45 left here in the first quarter. Broncos are down 7-0. And I'm like,
fuck.
It's still the first quarter?
Dude, it's the turnovers and the time of possession, and they held but yeah, it just took forever.
Yeah. The whole game just felt like an eternity though, too.
Oh, it really did. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, what time is it? The post-game show started on time, which was surprising. I expected it to be either early because of all the running, so the clock kind of ran out. But no, it just wouldn't go away. It just wouldn't stop. And then it became fun. We didn't want it to stop, so that was cool.
Yeah. It was just like running through mud.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the Broncos doing Tough Mudder this weekend. But it's and hopefully they'll start to see more improvement. The injuries definitely made a big difference for sure. Like just not having Pat Surtain out there.
Yeah,
and they're not even a massive passing team, but this was the first game that Justin Herbert passed over 200 yards this season.
It's kind of easy though to pick on Broncos secondary too right now when you lose PS2.
Yeah, for the whole game too. So that meant the runs were working better because they knew that we had to put extra help in the secondary, and it didn't seem to matter what the Broncos could do until, like we said before, welcome back, Colin. That it was a lot of it was the Chargers defense letting up to an extent, but you bend, but you don't break, and they didn't break.
I come back and you're talking about runs. How appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, when you left, we were talking about the choker. So
no.
Different stinker.
damn dogs. But I mean, you mentioned the PS2. That's where you were just at. You could tell from that time when PS2 went out that it felt like Vance Joseph was holding back the defense. Like I said, I don't know everything they said, but it felt like the defense was so out of sync, and you could feel in the stadium that they couldn't touch Herbert all damn day.
Yeah,
and, you opened it up when you asked me earlier. Sorry for my absence, but about Bo Nixon was, what was it? It was there was a bunch of pressure on him. Every time he took a snap, he had to turn around and do a 180 and start running the other way. Justin Fields could sit in the pocket all day, and he was finding Ladd McConkey all day. So McMillan couldn't stay on his feet. He was slipping all day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, change your shoes.
Yeah,
they got better spikes. Like change your shoes, change your spikes. Do something because I know they got different spikes. I've seen them. I've used them.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the rain game. It was
Yeah.
they were constantly doing that kind of shit. But yeah, like come on, Jaquan, this is America. Don't
Yeah,
get
This is the
offended.
NFL.
it was rough to watch, and just like there was nothing the Broncos D could do because they would get them in third down, then they would just convert, or there
Mhm.
would be a penalty to give them another opportunity, and just tough way to
that's-
lose a game.
I think that's what makes it the hardest. Is it was stupid penalties at the most inopportune time. I mean, you're gonna have penalties no matter what, but sometimes you just have those penalties where you're like, get your head out of your ass and do your job, dude. Like the Miners one, yeah, it was a bad penalty, but it was either that or let Bo Nix die. You know,
Yeah.
I'll take, as much as it pains me to say, I'll take that penalty.
Yep.
And like you said, it was earlier in the game still too, so it wasn't as under the microscope as probably it is now.
Yeah, I mean it ends up being a really big play. It ends up being a big play at the end, but yeah, it probably wouldn't have happened if he didn't hold.
Yeah. So
It's one of those that's tough. It's kind of like when a guy in basketball is about to get beat, and so he just fouls the dude, and you hope the shot doesn't go in. You know, every time the guy gets fouled and he doesn't make the shot, you're like, yeah, good foul, even if it wasn't.
yeah. Well, let's switch up to Boulder last night. Colin, you had the joy of not watching this one.
I did too.
I mean, your entertainment was less entertaining as well.
I did watch a decent amount of it.
Oh, did you?
Yes. As I was sitting at the Avs game, watching them get smoked and have no goaltending yet again. The shout out Michael, appreciate your man for the hookup on the Avs ticket. It was fun to be at opening night for the Avs, but he flipped his phone on to the CU game, and I was like, okay, let's see what's happening. And it was close for a while, but
Yeah.
CU didn't take advantage of their opportunities when they knocked out K-State's quarterback and they brought in a freshman who had attempted something like 7 passes or some really low number of passes. The CU didn't go after him. They didn't hit him. I mean, granted, K-State ran the ball a lot, but when they did have their chances to go hit the quarterback, they didn't do anything. And they didn't do anything offensively until after their quarterback came back in the game again. That freaking Harry Johnson.
Yeah. I was waiting for that one. Well, I mean,
we were sitting there watching, and it was just like, damn it, dude, do something.
The defense just could not. I mean, like Joe said, it was a death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah,
they would get them far enough that they would just stall the drive just enough, but then Shedeur gets the ball and he can't do anything. He has no blocking. He's not helping himself either with, I think, at least 2 intentional grounding penalties. I think maybe he had 3. And
I think it was just 2.
Was it just 2?
I think one got picked up because he was outside the pocket.
Oh, okay.
I think that if I remember right, but I didn't watch the whole game, so I do. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I remember 2 though.
Well, and I do remember at least 2, and I think that third one might be the one you're talking about that got waved off. But I mean, that's the problem now. Is everybody's starting to realize that if you put enough pressure on Shedeur, he's going to make bad decisions. And, you know, Prime said it himself. Like, Shedeur sucked yesterday. And, I mean, those are harsh words to hear from your head coach and your dad in a press conference. But, I mean, I don't know what it was. And I ended up running into some of the guys from Mile High Sports. Anello was there. He was doing a pregame show. And then Alex was there too, Becker. And so I ended up hanging out with them, watching the game with them, just because I needed to get out of the house. And so I'm watching Shedeur, and there are a couple times, and I don't know if this is just me, and I noticed a one-off.
It's just you.
But as he starts climbing the pocket, he's climbing the pocket into defenders almost. Like he's not watching where these defenders are at in the pocket. So as he starts stepping up, he's watching his receiver. He's not seeing where the pocket is. He's just trying to feel for it. And now he's being held on to as he's trying to make a throw.
I mean, I can't say that I've noticed that. I haven't watched for it. I will look for that in upcoming games since you've seen it. There was, though, when I was watching that game yesterday, there was a point where I just kind of said, Shedeur is going to be the number 1 overall pick next year. I mean, you might have seen that, but there were just moments that I sat there and I watched what he was doing and the way he was finding his receivers and throwing some of them open and getting the balls into tight windows.
Yeah,
and he is pretty freaking good. All right.
Oh yeah.
I just, I said, I don't know about seeing him like walk into pressure, but I think we have seen a level of maturity or growth from Shedeur from especially last year into this year. And yeah, he's done some stupid stuff still.
He's still a kid.
But man, is he good? And I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I had some blinders on because of all the history of CU quarterbacks just failing at the next level.
Yeah.
and not being able to really do anything. I mean,
yeah, there's one guy in like the history of the school that's been like a legitimate NFL starter. Like, I don't know if Charles Johnson played in the NFL for a little bit, maybe started a little bit. You know, we saw Montez as a backup for a while, but Cordell Stewart's the only one.
Yeah, and even then he wasn't even really used as a starter.
Long.
But I just, like I said, it could be some past bias that I don't know that I have, that I just never believed it. But there was a moment when I was watching that game and I was just like, you know what? He's really damn good, and he's going to be good at the next level. So maybe that's something he needs to work on. But talent-wise, I mean, he's got it.
Oh, he's got it
all. So I hope CU takes this loss and uses it as motivation, because they were that close to being a top 25 ranked team. They were that close to being in talks of bowl playoff team. They were that close to being all those things. And can they get back? It's going to be difficult without that K-State win, but they can put out some dominant wins, because Shedeur really is that good.
If K-State can fall off, I think they can climb their way back into the conference championship. But that's going to be a hard fought battle.
For sure. Yeah. And I feel like with the first overall draft pick stuff, the big hurdle that Shedeur is going to have to face is all of the film watching after the season, because that's when you really start to see the hierarchy of players. Like, we were all 90% sure that Caleb Williams was going to be the number 1 overall pick, but there was still some talk. Like, I don't know, we haven't seen all the film yet. Maybe it's Jaden Daniels. We were pretty sure it was not going to be Drake May.
Yeah.
But years past, he was touted as the guy that would compete with Caleb Williams. So looking at it right now, Quinn Ewers had the injury. Jalen Milroe is still very good and talented, but who knows?
Travis Hunter got hurt yesterday.
Exactly. So I feel like, and Shedeur would go ahead of Travis just because he's a quarterback, unless the team with the number 1 overall pick happens to have a quarterback, which almost never happens. I remember one year the Dolphins took a left tackle with number 1 overall pick, but you almost never see it. So I feel like that's going to be the next big hurdle. But, and yeah, like you said, he still makes mistakes. I think the last play of the game was on Shedeur. He goes for this big bomb. At the end, we only needed a few yards.
Yeah.
So you could say that was Pat Shurmur, but I don't think Pat Shurmur is that stupid. I think he's stupid. I don't know if he's that stupid to call the bomb on, like, and I get it. They were going for the underthrow pass interference call, but like that, when you only need a few yards, that's a stupid call. Like, that's a great call when it's like, oh shit, we need 30 or we need 20 or even 15, whatever. But I believe it was 4th and 5. I want to say, like, come on, you got to.
Well, in the challenge too, that I think that second time out really burned them too. When they lost that challenge, I don't know why they were challenging that in the first place. The dude, he was clear, his heel was out of bounds. Yeah, white shoe on white paint, but everybody saw it. We all saw it, and it was just a waste of a timeout that they clearly needed later.
Yeah, something that wasn't going to get overturned. I like how Joe started this thing off. You know, now he's talking about bombs after talking about being a terrorist at the airport.
Exactly. We're not doing
the end of everything.
So that at the airport.
Stay away, Joe.
Bomb.
Bomb on Baran. The one thing that
I was just saying, that's it. Ba, ba, bum, bum, bum.
Uh, the one other thing that I really feel like from this game that is, I guess, kind of defining of this team is that they still couldn't tackle the running back.
Yeah.
And this happened both in the Broncos game and the Buffs game. They couldn't stop the running back from falling forward. The Broncos had so many first downs where they had the guy hit in the backfield, and then he falls forward for 2-3 more yards.
They weren't finishing the tackles.
Yeah.
Yes, the Buffs had that. The touchdown, the touchdown in today's that was today's Broncos game where he reaches across the goal line after he's hit. Like, you hit him, you have him stopped, and then boom, reaches across. It just, every time you saw the Buffs try and hit the K-State running back in the backfield, all of a sudden he'd be like 2-3 more yards further up. It's like, what the hell happened there?
Yeah.
You have to finish your tackles, because when these games do become, not this wasn't important, but when these games do become more important and more watched, and you have more eyes and more possibilities of even thinking about a college football playoff, you have to make those, or else you are going to get blown out of the water against other teams in this CFP.
Yeah, and it's more important to do in college too, because every win is so much more important. In the NFL, the Broncos can maybe afford to drop even a division game like this, but CU, like, their chances went from like pretty good to like, oh fuck, some shit needs to happen now for them to get into the college playoffs, like you were saying, Nick.
And thank you everybody for tuning in on the different platforms we have. Don't forget, you can jump into the chat with us as well if you feel offended by Joe's bombs or Colin's absence or just my hat.
Yeah, it's different from a Schwar bomb.
Thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate it. Make sure you let everybody know as well that we're live and we love participation. Sorry, I had to jump in real quick.
No, of course. Yeah, we definitely love everyone tuning in, and I had a chance to talk to John Paul, who was sitting next to me at the game, about it. Alabama. He was asking me about my Atwater jersey and stuff like that. So you're tuning in. Appreciate you jumping on, man. But definitely appreciate everyone who's been tuning in and watching and helping us to continue doing what we love.
I would like to thank the entire Terrorist Watch group who has just joined the chat. Thank you.
Lord.
Nah, Joe's getting muted.
And speaking of terrorists,
I had to leave for a legitimate reason. Joe's just leaving because he's now banned.
Speaking of terrorists, the Dodgers just walked all over the Mets. That one's officially over. That's it was a good choice. I knew that was going to happen, but I didn't think the Mets offense would fall apart that fast. But again, this is the Dodgers pitching too. And you have a pitcher out there this is his second game he's started this year, as he just came back. I don't remember who they started. It was one of the Japanese guys that they've been hiding somewhere, and I can't type on my computer because Colin gets mad.
Hey, all I'm saying is that it's clickety clackety.
We'd have more information and resources if Colin could handle it.
Well, Jack Flaherty was the starting pitcher for the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, yeah. He was trying to right his own ship too. I think he was on a 4-game postseason losing streak, if I remember right.
And it looks like Senga was the starting.
Senga, yeah.
Senga was the starting pitcher for the Mets. Yeah.
Senga, what you smoking, man?
So I mean,
the Dodgers now have 33 consecutive scoreless innings in the postseason.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
This is unbelievable what they are doing, now. And they explode for a 6-run 5th inning, I believe it was, and had 3 more in the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Kike Hernandez is once again at the middle of that. Just hitting a line drive, moving runners around. Shohei takes I think it was his second pitch that he saw and lines it to right field off the wall. Kike scores from second, I believe. Maybe he scored from first. Or no, it wasn't him. It was I can't remember the whole process, but they just the Dodgers they're damn good. Yeah. And the talk was, hey, the Dodgers needed this game more than the Mets because the Game 2 for the Dodgers is going to be another bullpen game, so they kind of needed to get this win today because who knows what's going to happen in a bullpen game in the playoffs. But man, the Dodgers bats have only gone quiet really once.
2 games?
I was going to say it's 2, but it really feels like 1.
Yeah.
Because
well, I don't know.
They were totally out of the game against the Padres when it was like 10-3.
Yeah. But I mean, even then though, they only scored 2 runs in Game 5. You know, I mean, they got 2 solo bombs, one from Hernandez, the other from Hernandez.
Well, hold on, we can't say that, Nick.
No, Joe, you can't say that.
No, Colin, you can't say that.
Yeah, I guess you could. I guess
I'm not
go there with that Game 5. I think that was more of a defensive performance where both teams' offenses were going to struggle, and I misread that game. Unlike I misread a lot of games this weekend. Nick, did you? Yeah, I see Nick took my advice, by the way, and benched Mike Evans this week.
I did.
And did you follow my advice and bet on Chris Godwin?
You should have.
No, I didn't. I totally forgot about that one because I was adding commercials to our list because they had to do 8-minute commercial breaks today.
Sweet.
For their live stream. They were doing a live remote, and so
That's
like
crazy.
they were giving you know how it is when Joe and Alex give things away. Like it takes them forever to do like anything, and so they're trying to do it in a like 4-minute commercial break, and finally Anello's like, "We're just gonna make the rest of these 7 or 8-minute commercials if you can do that." I'm like, "I got you, dude.
Let's go."
That's fantastic.
And so like when they would come back, Anello's like still trying to get them, so like. You have your bumper in there. And so I had to like make sure I picked a long song that at least had a decent intro.
So you had this extra leeway.
I had like 2.5-minute song the first time. And I'm like, I think it was like a Hey Maria or something like that. And I texted Noah, I'm like, they know this song's like not that long, right? As it's like still playing. And I'm like, am I going to add another song? What is going on?
I mean,
a music station now?
Speaking of leeway, like that's what the Dodgers are doing with their offense. They are adding these extra runs on in support of their pitchers so that they have some room to breathe.
Yeah.
It's they still won 9-0 tonight. Okay. That's not the end of the story because those pitchers could pitch freely. They didn't have to worry about giving up one big hit or 2 big hits and then losing the game, which is an even more high pressure situation than they're already in. With a chance to go to the World Series and playing these games. So I really think the Dodgers are playing some of the best baseball around right now. Does that mean that the Mets can't come back? Hell no, it doesn't mean that because the Mets, like I said, it is going to be a bullpen game. The pressure was on the Dodgers to win this one because of that Game 2 being a bullpen game. And they were at home.
Yeah.
I mean, they were expected to win this game in front of the crowd, and it was kind of nail biting for 5 innings, but then that dam finally broke and off they went.
Yeah. And I mean, the Yankees tomorrow, they're starting Carlos Rodon because of Cole finishing Game 4. So that's going to be an interesting one, which Rodon shows up again. He gave him 4 last time, but he gave up runs. So we'll see. They're finishing up their lineup right now. It'll go Rodon, then Cole.
That's the pterodactyl one, right? That fights Godzilla?
Yes. And then Clark Schmidt's going to get Game 3. So I'm happy for Clark. It's just a matter of Game 4. Who do you throw? How does Nestor feel? Do you throw Luis Gil, who was in line for the AL Cy Young as well? I think that's going to go to Skubal, but he'll put up a hell of a fight.
I mean, like I said yesterday, though, both of these series are really great series. They have so much star power, and I wouldn't be surprised with each of them going 7.
No,
even with the Dodgers' dominance tonight, they dominated 2 innings, and the rest of it was all neck and neck. And
the Mets will take at least 1 at home for sure, and I'm sure tomorrow, like you said, the bullpen game tomorrow, that's in favor of the Mets too.
Yeah, I don't know what the odds are on that because it's not the victory formation one that I looked at. So I don't know, but I would expect the Mets to come out tomorrow and start playing well before the 7th inning. I think they got the message against the Dodgers that this isn't a 9th inning cardiac kids type of victory.
No, this is not one of those teams. Well, and I think that's where Lindor again needs to step up with this team and show his leadership and be like, guys, this is not a win on the cuff kind of thing. This is we have to pound these pitchers and take advantage of every strike that we get. So
yeah, Nick, you must have. I was gonna say you must have hated it. Did you see the Dodgers playing all that small ball today? I mean, bunting and moving the runners over and then scoring runs.
Yeah.
I mean, did
What made you
did it remind you of some division that's just terrible and
just the worst division?
Gonna beat the Yankees?
Be terrible.
No, they're not. Guardians wish they could.
We might have to talk about putting something on this because I think I'm taking the Guardians in this series overall.
No,
I am taking the Guardians in this series actually overall. No. I kind of don't want
bullpen? All right.
Nope. So let's get our final sad story out of the way. The Colorado Avalanche decided to set a franchise record for the most goals given up over the first 2 games.
Great.
It's I think it was 16.
Whoa.
Did you give up 16 over 2? Was it 6 last night?
It was 6 last night.
6 last night.
So 14.
That's still a lot.
So 14 goals over the first 2 games they've given up because they gave up 8 the first night. 8 plus 6 is 14. Yes, kids, I can math.
Ha.
Are you sure about that? Just kidding.
The 14, yes. The 8 and 6, no.
No, you are right on that. And the problem is that in these 2 games you've given up 8 and 6 in those, but you scored 4 goals. When you score 4 goals in a game, you should be winning a majority of those.
Yeah.
When we looked back, it was before. Oh man, why am I blanking before Kemper? Who the goaltender was?
Darcy, Grubauer.
Phil Grubauer. Yeah.
I am Grub.
When we were looking at Grubauer, when I went back and looked through Grubauer's stats, and there was the occasional bad game, but when the Avs offense scored 4 more goals, they won that game. I want to say they won all of them but 2 or something along those lines when Grubauer was starting. So this really goes straight to the goaltending, and I mean, it's over. It really is, because all the fans in Ball Arena were cheering once they made the goalie change and Eustace came in, and it was just it was bad because they were soft goals. One was a kind of freaky, weird goal that Georgie gave up. The guy made a great shot over his shoulder, but 2 of them were soft, easy goals that should have been stopped, and then Eustace let in an easy one. We're just like, oh crap, here we go again. This team needs a goaltender, and they need to make a trade. They need to do whatever the hell they can to get that trade. And this goes back to last year where the Avs should have figured out a way to trade with Nashville.
Yeah.
To get Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yep.
Or Hill. I think Aiden Hill.
Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill.
Too many hills.
All the hills. Well, the Avs don't have a hill to climb. They have a mountain to climb with this goaltending situation. All right.
Yeah, they got a mountain
it is coming down like an avalanche on them as they are. The goals are just pouring in, and these guys can't stop it. The home opener, I expected more from this team, and offensively, they did make some plays. The refs, the Zebras were terrible. They were absolutely dog shit in this game, and that really pissed me off because there were so many bad plays or bad calls, missed calls. I can't believe that those guys, I mean, they had to be on Columbus's payroll. They must have some good benefits out there and a great benefit package because they were giving them everything that they could to help them win that game and not giving anything the Avs way or calling it the Avs way. It was just it was really bad, and it felt overtly Columbus-sided, which sucked. But at the end of the day, you can't give up those easy goals and think that you're going to win that game.
Well, I was reading too on Twitter, and you can confirm this for me. I guess the Avs didn't really do a whole lot, if anything, for Johnny Hockey since they were playing Columbus. A lot of people are like really pissed off about it right now.
Well, I mean, they didn't do anything for Gaudreau, but I don't know what
I don't know.
I don't know what you expect. I didn't really expect anything from them to do that. I think
I feel
They were expecting like a 13-second of silence. I guess wherever else Columbus played earlier this week were they were
a moment of silence.
Giving a moment of silence, basically. Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like somebody must have done that then earlier. Was their first game an away game, or was it at home?
They played the Wild, and
I don't know.
They played at Minnesota.
So Minnesota must have done something.
And at Pittsburgh.
So
okay,
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't expect anything extravagant. But yeah, you're playing the team with Gaudreau, which is so. Yeah, I don't know. I would still call that an oversight by the Avalanche. I'm not upset about it. I guess see maybe why people would be, but like I mean, yeah, you can't expect every team to do that for every game, but watch now it happens every single game for this entire season. The team playing Columbus, I almost said Charlotte, gives a tribute to Johnny Hockey.
Well, I mean, maybe the Wild did it also. I mean, I guess if you're saying they did. That
I'm just reading this on Twitter though.
But or no, yeah. I guess they've only played 2 games. Maybe I was reading that schedule wrong. It says they've only played 2 games, 1 win, 1 loss.
Oh. Yeah, Pittsburgh and
well, no, they played the Avs, which was.
I wonder if they're talking maybe the preseason games too. They might have been doing that as well. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe, but you also when you think about it, you don't dive into the news and everything. It's not that this wasn't news, but in the hockey world, I know it's tight knit. But I guess you probably don't think about other Eastern Conference foes or other divisional foes the same. And I don't know, like what if the Avs played them for their only matchup at home in March? Are they still doing a moment of silence then?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, at the same time, too, they had awards to give out, not to be mean. I'm not trying to low blow anybody, but I'm just saying they had a pregame ceremony already set. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen like how they run these pregame ceremonies, like doing the Rapids games that I've done. Like they are to the minute. And they're like, okay, let's go this, and like they are on top of it. And I'm sure like as they were planning, getting the guys their awards, there was no ill will towards Johnny Hockey. It was just we have this to get done because it's a national TV game or whatever. I don't know, it wasn't national, it was altitude.
Well, I mean, but the NHL was still there and they were handing out those awards, and so was Jokic. But maybe they did feel slighted and they used that. But either way, your goaltending still sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what doesn't suck? The fact that I picked the Dodgers.
Victories.
El Dodgers.
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
The Pick'em segment proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin just kind of winging it.
Well, when you're hot, and that's all I'm going to say because one of us went 4-0. I think you know who that is right about meow. One of us went 3-1, and the other one of us went 1-3. Have the tables turned on any of us? Well, yeah, they sure have. First things first, we kick things off in London this weekend.
My man Fred Durst.
Where where the Bears demolished the Jaguars in their second home. They crushed him. Caleb Williams having another career day. He has stepped it up for sure. So me and Nick picked that game correctly. Joe chose the Jaguars at their second home and did not get that correct.
No, not even close.
We also had a Mets-Dodgers game that just wrapped up, and unfortunately, Grimace missed his flight. He was on Joe's no-fly list to L.A., so he stayed in New York, and the Dodgers came out victorious, meaning Nick and I both won 16-25 on that as well. Another game that just wrapped up here moments ago, the Bengals didn't bungle it away, and they beat the Giants, although they did fumble near the end of the game, and the Giants almost recovered it. Ooh, it was close, but the Bengals hold on to win. So Nick and I also hold on to win that game and win 15-13 in the second lowest win of the week. And Joe, sorry to tell you, your one win of the week with the Liberty getting the game was the lowest total, winning 12.94 in that game. That mean you got.
Good.
Meaning the low man on the totem pole this week is Joe, losing 1706, but still above $700. But now in third place,
well, yeah, because
at 705.19. Nick, you won $40.48. And guess what? You're in second place.
Oh, damn it.
At 751.42. I won 63.41, bringing me to 760.37. $9 ahead and back in first. The profit is back, baby. The profit is back. It is playoff. It is football time. It's playoff time. I am on fire. I told Nick about the Mike Evans. Make sure to stay away. Go bet on Chris Godwin. That worked. My touchdown bets hit. I live bet. I love live bet Troy Franklin touchdown today. Won a few $100.
And he's so modest too, guys.
I'm just telling you, I'm on fire. I'm just letting you know, when you're hot, you're hot. So hopefully that can continue.
Well, Colin, I told you not to touch that button, and you wouldn't get set on fire.
With this Thursday night football game, or excuse me, we start with Monday night football because it's Sunday night. Bills take on the Jets. Bills are barely a favorite at -120 against the Jets at just even money, 100. Nick, who you got?
Oof. Wow, wow. I don't know. I mean, the Jets just made all these moves. They demoted Hackett. I don't know how happy Aaron's going to be, or if he's going to actually want to play to get Hackett his job back. I'm going to go with the Bills.
Nick takes the Bills. Joe, who you got?
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm thinking I'm going to take the new coach bump. Usually teams that have their coach, sacked in the middle of the season, they usually go on to win the next game. I know there's been a few times where it doesn't happen, but it's definitely more often than not. The demoting of Nathaniel Hackett is a good thing. I think that's going to make their offense work better. I think, selfishly, I'm hoping that they target Garrett Wilson a whole bunch, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think it's going to be Jets week.
I am going with the Jets also, and I have a little fun flyer bet on this game. Take. Oh, hey, that was good. I didn't mean to do that. I'm taking Breece Hall first and last touchdown. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring game, so give me the under. And possibly if Breece Hall is the only touchdown scorer, you win both the first and last bet at plus like 5,000 or something. Turns into a lot. Next, we move on to the WNBA, where now the Liberty are headed to Minnesota to play the Lynx. The Lynx are still underdogs at home at plus 120. Liberty minus 142. Joe, who you got?
I don't really know. I didn't watch the first one. So let's take the Limu Emu.
Which is Liberty Bibbity.
Liberty Bibbity.
We're
just gonna keep getting further and further away.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Lynx in this one at home. I think if they get a chance to win a game, it's this one. So there it is. Nick, who you got?
I got Joe changing language to turn this into Idiocracy for 500, Bob. Oh, sorry, the game. I'm gonna go Lynx.
He's going back to the well. I don't feel so good about my pick anymore now.
Welcome to Costco.
Next, we move to Thursday night football, and this can't be a good game, but it is the Broncos and Saints, and they're both at -110. I have no clue what to think about this game. I had originally called it a loss for the Broncos, and unfortunately, I'm just going to stick with that because I don't know what to expect. I kind of think Sean Payton was planning ahead, but after what I saw today in 3/4 of nothing, I don't know if they show up on Thursday, especially with the injuries. Nick, who you got?
Sorry, I was reading the work text real quick. What are my choices again?
Okay, Nick's taking the Broncos.
Okay, yeah.
Nick's taking the Broncos.
Yeah, give me the Broncos then. I was gonna pick them. No, I got a work text. Sorry.
Love it.
You're good.
Jerk.
No, but I like that. Yeah. So Nick takes. We do.
I'm even more mad that it wasn't irrelevant.
We already know. Yeah.
we already knew. You just didn't have to give you a reason why you were taking the Broncos in your orange and blue sunglasses, but that's okay.
Shut
up. Joe, who you got?
This feels bad. Spencer Rattler looked decent at times, but not consistent or anything. Broncos bounce back. Fuck it. Sean Payton trying to beat his old team. That's a fun stat I'd like to look up. How often does the former coach or player or whatever get to win their revenge game? That's probably closer to 50-50. But yeah, Broncos have the better quarterback, I think.
Nick, was there anything you wanted to say about why the Broncos would beat the Saints Thursday?
I think Payton was already focused on Thursday, so
okay.
That was it.
Well, I figured I'd let you put something in because I also know that this one will be short. Thursday night, we're going to Thursday, so you could get a little parlay action if you decide so, which is game 3 of this series. Yankees versus Guardians. Nick is taking the Yankees.
Yep.
Any reason why besides you're just taking the Yankees?
I mean, it's just Clark Schmidt's establishing himself more. He's a good third guy in the rotation right now to follow up Cole and Rodon, and I mean, as long as no midges are out, we'll be fine.
Joe, who you got?
I don't know. So just to fuck with Nick, I'm going to take the Guardians. I will take the Cleveland Indians. Thanks, Colin.
I am also taking them at home in this game. Just once again, it is going to be their chance to win. I think this series is going to go 7, so you got to win at least one of them at home, and I think that we see a bunch of splits, and then whatever happens in Game 7 happens in Game 7. But speaking of that, there's another game that day too. That is the Dodgers and the Mets, and I'm pretty sure Grimace will be in place in this game. Or did I say Game 4 for Yankees Guardians? That's Game 3.
No, you said Game 3.
Okay, this is Game 4 for the Dodgers Mets Thursday.
We may have an appearance by our own John Sanchez.
Who?
Hey, what's up, Colin?
Hey, what's up, John?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
Not too bad, venting like all the other Broncos fans.
We're done venting. We're over it. We're in our victory formation in pick'em games.
We're picking games, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, dude. Sorry.
No, you're good. We'll just go.
Dodgers Mets. Joe, real quick.
Everything's played in.
Okay.
There you go. I'll meet him.
Okay.
He'll probably take the Mets anyway.
All right. Well, yeah, he's probably taking the Mets anyways. Once again, thank you everyone for watching and tuning in. Appreciate you. With that, I am taking. Oh, I see. I really want to take the Mets in this game. Yeah, I am going to take the Mets in Game 4. I don't know I don't think it lines up well, but yeah, I'm gonna take them at home. I think this is a series of home games, in all honesty, and maybe the Mets steal one here or steal one in LA tomorrow night. But yeah, give me the Mets in Game 4. Who you got, Nick?
Same.
All right,
I like them at home.
He's back. Mets. Oh, so are we gonna sweep the Mets in Game 4? Is that what's happening, Nick?
I think so.
Did you do that, Joe? Are you taking the Mets or the Dodgers?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm taking the Mets. Come on, let's go.
And Put all your money on the Dodgers. It's gonna. Oh, we suck at this.
Speaking of
I'm
Game
kidding.
7,
Oh man! All right. Well, that's all right. I mean, that we got 5 games this week, so as much as of a don't call it a comeback because I still
We've
never
been
lost
here
my
for
title of being number 1. It's going to be a lot of opportunities to come back with all of these playoff games and matchups going on, and soon we will have primetime Thursday night basketball and everything as well. So, with that being said, the victory formation has been wrapped, and I think we got to send this thing into space because that's sometimes just what we do. And I put my bets out there.
Good.
Put my bets out into space, and you know what?
What about your Mookie though?
It returned plenty of money to me.
thanks everybody for tuning in tonight.
That's made me Mookie.
We appreciate you. Don't make Colin Mookie. It's weird.
Colin's out there just mooking bets.
You're cutting out, so I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. Tell your friends, tell your mom's friends. Thank you, Michael Spillin, and everybody over at e5280sports.com for hosting us. And thank you to Pikes Peak Sports Cards, our sponsor. We appreciate you as well. And don't forget to tune in later this week when we come back and we learn about how Colin won more money, and he's number 1 in our pick'em then.
Yeah, just don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, for Joe Goodwin and Colin Zanker, I'm Nick Barcelota. Those are my hands pointing at them. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Have a good week. We love you.
Go Colorado teams.
I love you.
Go Yankees. Let's go Yankees.